We've talked a lot about business challenges and economics. And as we close, I want to offer a broader perspective on economic growth. I'd like to tell you about my mother's orange. Some years back, my mother came to visit over the holidays. My kids at that time were about 8 years old and 10 years old. And at Christmas dinner, I asked her, what was Christmas like when you were a little girl? I had heard the stories myself, but I wanted my kids to hear them directly from their grandmother. And she said, well, every year I'd get a handmade gift. Today, a handmade gift is special. But growing up on a poor, small farm in the 1920s and 1930s, a handmade gift was all that a poor family could afford. So my mother would get a doll sewn by her mother, or perhaps a wooden toy that her father had made in the barn. And my mother said, and I always had a stocking, and there would be nuts in it, walnuts and pecans, and there'd be homemade candy. And then my mother's eyes got big. She smiled. You could see in the elderly woman's face the excitement of a little girl at Christmas time. My mother said at the bottom of the stocking, I always had an orange. An orange. In those days, poor people could not buy fresh fruit in the winter as a routine basis. They couldn't afford fresh fruit. A juicy, sweet orange was a real joy to have. And this orange was the only store-bought gift my mother received at Christmas time growing up. Today I hear a lot of people complain that this country has gone backwards, that we're worse off than we used to be, that we should go back to the old days. And if you don't think we're in better shape, I'd be happy to share with you my mother's orange.